Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Tester Tech. And I want to continue with Rising i3. The next part will be the top bar. So I was looking into that, and you have the polybar for that. So polybar itself is very versatile. You can do lots of stuff with it. But I was looking into customizing it and rising it a little bit, but I thought to myself, well, what do I want in terms of functionality? And I couldn't decide actually what kind of functionality I wanted to use. So I started thinking, well, I use Gnome now, so why not use that as a template, as a baseline for making the polybar bar. And that's what I want to show you in this video. So in this video I will go over my Gnome installation I use regularly and show you the features and extensions I use and the functionality I'm used to. And I will use that as a baseline for customizing the polybar in the next video. So this video will be interesting if you want to look at my Gnome way of working and how I customize it and what extensions I use and stuff like that. I'm using SUSE Leap on this desktop, so I'll show you that real quick. And I will take it into account when proceeding with customizing i3. And that's it for this introduction, and without further ado, let's dig into the video. Hey guys, so before I dive into the polybar part, let's first look at my reference desktop. This is Gnome, and I've customized it that you have the dashboard on the left side, the Dashbar. It's called Dash to Dock. It's an extension. So Dash to Dock, and here it's a panel, and you have the favorite applications in there, the running applications, volumes if mounted. I don't want trash can actually. There you go. So behavior is pretty default. Appearance, I'm shrinking the dash. Yeah, and basically you can also do the little dot here. That's called a counter. You can customize it the way you want. So this is also a nice one to choose. Yeah, so you can pick whatever you want. This also, if you look at this one, it shows now that the two windows open. It's also very cool, of course. Yeah, so I didn't want that, so default. So let's do it default. So opacity here, so default 1. So that's basically it. And it's on the left side. And here the activate overview is here. And activities is here. So it's basically the same functionality, except for this is showing the current, and this also shows this, all the desktops, but also all the applications you have installed. And if you hit the Windows key, then you go to activities, as you can see. All right, so that's one thing. And yeah, the one drawback that it doesn't tile, obviously. It's not a tiling window manager. But it does do like this. Open up a new window. Drag it, and then you can shift it left or right. So that's very nice, a nice feature. KDE does not have this by default. KDE does not divide the windows equally if you move the split. So that's a big drawback, because I really like that type of movement you just saw. And you cannot do, like, if you move it here, it maximizes it, but it's not, it's not like in a quarter of the screen here that you can do with KDE. And also you can split KDE, you can split, I think that's called vertically. If you do like this, and then the other one, obviously, so but then the full screen, if you get what I mean, right? So that's the window placement and stuff like that. What I do like for this, it's quite fast, and yeah, it's good functionality. If you right click here, you can do new window, or you can all windows. So that's very cool. And yeah, that's what I do like. I don't like that I need to manage these windows by clicking. So that's the reason that Tiling Window Manager is appealing in the first place, is that you don't have to manage it. It manages itself. All right, so this is the Dash to Dock, and let's look at some other features. Extensions. So before, I just have to say what Gnome-shell version I have. Gnome. Let's open up a terminal. Gnome-shell version. So I'm 41.1, and I'm this is OpenSUSE, and yeah, OpenSUSE. Leap. So I'm now in Leap. I think it's 5.14. That's the kernel, of course. About system view. View some system information. About. Here you go. Yeah, 15.4. So that's the version. Yeah, it's X11. The reason I'm running X11 is because of copy queue. So it doesn't work for me in Wayland. So copy queue is the clipboard utility, but we'll get to that. All right. Let's go to here again. So I was just talking about my extensions. Blur my shell, and I think it's maybe it's working, but I'm not sure if I disable it. Yeah, so the one thing you do see is the background here. If you enable it, you see here. Yeah, okay. So you see some blur. Disable it, it goes to black, right? And now enable it, and it goes to transparent. So that's the reason I do it. Okay, caffeine is a utility here, and it keeps the screen enabled. So it keeps the screen on. Dash to Dock, I talked about that. Tray icons reloaded. This is a very, very crucial extension for GNOME, in my opinion. And that's the part here. So this it shows all the icons here. So if you disable it, and then, well, where are my system tray icons? They're not there. It's a big drawback of GNOME, that they do not supply such an extension by default. That's one of the biggest gripes I have against GNOME, the default experience. There's no, yeah, where are your extensions? They're not there. It's very annoying. So, tray icons reloaded. So thank you, author of this cool script, that you supply it. And if you enable it, they come back here. All right, so that's the one. And yeah, tray icons reloaded. You can customize it. You can do stuff like position, but on the right is okay. But if you select center, it will show it here, and left will show it here. It's very ugly, so I'll keep it right. Okay, limit 15. Okay, icon size 24, but yeah, you maybe make a little bit smaller. Depends on your taste. I think if you look at this icon size, it's approximately the same as this. Saturation, you can change that, of course. So if you want to desaturate those icons, and nothing happens here, but what was it again? No. So that's not doing anything, as you can maybe see. Brightness, no, that's not doing anything. But okay, not a huge deal. Margin, tray margin, icon margin, and padding. So if you decrease it, you see they come closer together. And I had it at 2, I think that's okay. This is probably the outer padding, so it doesn't change. The margin, you can also set it. Doesn't really affect it, but this does. So it's so now it's getting smaller, as you can maybe see. So it's very ugly now. Let me put it back to where it was. So you see the settings make sense, right? So yeah, I think that maybe it's on a different computer, it's different, but it's okay. So here you have that one. All right, and you can do some extra applications in there probably. I don't know, I've never seen this. Maybe you can add some extra. Let's put about me. Select. Nothing happening. But I'm not sure about this feature, so I don't know. Let's leave it like that. Okay. So tray icons, very useful. Okay. And then you have this is the built-in one. So applications, menu. If you enable it, it says applications here. Do not use that. So because my way of working is that I hit Windows and just start typing here, right? So that's my preferred way of working. It's much faster than picking up the mouse again. Desktop icons, I don't want those. Launch new instance. That will be like the default behavior, I think. So if you probably your Firefox one time. And if you do Firefox again. Yeah, so that's a default behavior. I don't want that. Because if there's already a Firefox running, so I just disabled it, Firefox, and then Firefox again, it will automatically point to that running instance. So that's, I think it's more efficient. So it will prevent from overly new instances of applications. Places, you could do this. That's the same as if you go into Nautilus and you have the places. I think it's, what was it again? Is it this? This. I think it's something like this. Let's see. Places. Okay, this is the whole thing here. So the same thing as you have here, you have it here. So it's like a shorthand. I don't use it. And the reason I don't use it, in the past I had some network drives here, right? So they were disconnected at some point, and then my whole desktop was very slow because it needs to load into the... So if you go here, if you enable it, if you have like a network drive here that's slow, then when you log into the desktop, it will try to connect it, and then it's very slow here. And that's the reason I disabled it, but yeah. It's personal preference, I think, at this moment. Maybe that issue I just described is solved anyway. So, yeah, I'm not sure. So, SUSE Linux Classic. I don't know. Maybe it changes to... Let's just click it for the fun of it. What happens? And I don't know. I've never seen this. The classic theme. Okay. I don't know. It also has some error, I think, now. But... window list. So you have some window here and some desktops there. The reason I don't use it is because I miss screen real estate. And now, because my desktop is obviously everyone's desktop, is you have more in the width than in the height, and I don't like these there, so I don't use. Maybe you can. So now that I think of it, maybe you can put it on the right or something like that. But that's not a possibility I see here. Let's click it away. Be gone. Okay. And I have it here, right? So I have my windows open. I see the little dot here. I know, oh, this is open. Oh, this is open. This is open. So I know that already. So there's no need for me to have it in the bottom here. All right. Workspace indicator. Yeah. This is the workspace. 1, 2, 3, 4 workspaces, 5 workspaces, and if you put a nail then you have it here. And yeah, so I think it's a nice one if you want to present it with that information, but I don't want to know actually all the time what workspace is. Not that important. It's much cleaner, right? And you can easily switch here. You can do Windows key, right? So you can switch like this. So yeah, I don't see the use. So all these, actually all these built-in I have disabled. That's very, now that I notice it, that's interesting. All right, so extensions, it used to be integrated with tweaks. So if you have an older version of GNOME, then if you don't have extensions, the application itself, then you need to go into tweaks. That's an add-on application, and then you have extensions here as a tab, right? All right, so I talked about those extensions, and now let's look at the rest of the desktop. So this is very clean desktop. I showed you that and that. Here you have the clock, and I have it on Do Not Disturb because all these notifications. It's very annoying. I don't want to see all these notifications. So let's clear it. Yeah, and the only thing that you have like an icon here with a cross in there, but yeah, I'm not bothered by that. What I use? I use the week numbers here, so quickly see what week it is. And the calendar, sometimes I use it. Okay. And if you go here, then you have the icons here in the sys tray. So these OBS running now. I have Elements, Dropbox, copy queue. I showed you that. And copy queue I also have mapped to a shortcut. So I can easily bring up this. So if you don't know copy queue, so it's just a clipboard manager. Let's discard it. I don't know what it is. So this is a test. So you Control C it, and if you open copy queue, then you see here. Then you have the thing here. So you can easily copy paste what you. So it doesn't. It's not very useful, just a 0. But yeah, so you get my drift probably. And it's also the same if you have like text here. Oops. So abracadabra, if you select it, copy queue also has it. So every text you select on screen, and it's very fast. So you don't have to think about everything, right? So you don't have to think about copy pasting. Probably copy queue has it somewhere. So that's cool. It's very cool. So clipboard manager, and GNOME actually also has a clipboard manager extension. The reason I use copy queue is that it's transient for desktop. So I can use it on multiple desktops. So if you have KDE, KDE also have a copy clipboard manager integrated, I think. You can disable it, and if you have GNOME, KDE, i3, all these window managers, you have one clipboard manager present there. So that's really a big plus for me. That's why I use copy queue. It's a Flatpak application actually. And HP, this is for the printer I'm using now, so that's okay. And here I talked about this, so it keeps the screen on. I like to keep this icon, and the only reason I actually use this icon is because of the large text, and that's because I want to easily switch between small text, regular text, and big text, as you can see, and it's very convenient. This is the small text. Wait till it loads. Yeah, it's a small text, and if you quickly click large text, you see Firefox also increases the text size. Yeah, that's basically the only reason I have this icon here, but it's very convenient for me. All right. Zoom is also interesting, but I don't use it that much. But yeah, it's also good if you want that. All right. And this is the default, quick selection. I use that a lot, of course, to switch. And you also have some extensions here. And the one extension I did use sometime was that it expands these options automatically for you, and also the sound, so that you can easily select audio devices. If you have multiple, you can easily click. But in the end, I thought, well, makes it also very cluttered. And just what I do, I switch to settings and just go to if you want to switch sound devices, then I just go into here, and that works okay. But it's an extra click to be honest. Yeah. Okay, that's basically it for that. And the theme, I have the North theme, and let's go into tweaks. Appearance, so I have the Nordic bluish accent V40. So that's the theme you see here. Cursor is this one. Yeah, not too bothered about a cursor, but I think this is okay. It's very visible, and yeah, it's a little bit big, but that's because I also have a very high resolution screen, 5K 2K display. And yeah, then the cursor needs to be a little bit bigger. Icons, just the default ones, and for the rest, the background, I have it there. Yeah, that's basically it. What else? Suspend when laptop lid is closed. I put it off. I want to close the lid and just have it running. Fonts is the default. Hinting full sub-pixel LCD, so Noto. I think this is the custom Noto sans. I think doing it off the top of my head. Yeah, that's basically it for that one. Keyboard, mouse, default, startup. I have some startup applications, and here you have the top bar. I have the week numbers in the calendar. I just talked about that. Okay. Activities overview hot corner, you can also disable this, and then the hot corner is this, so I don't click. Maybe you heard it, but I don't click, so that's the hot corner. Okay, title bar, I tend to keep it pretty clean, and middle click minimize, I like that functionality here. It's very fast. Okay, and I actually don't want these two, so it's a little bit cleaner, because I want to close, then I just click here, right, and minimize. I do right click, I could do it, and also a middle click. That's good. And this is all default. This is also default. Yeah, basically it for this overview. File manager. I forgot to mention the file manager. This is Nautilus, and Nautilus, just some simple thing I do have. If you have hidden files, if you hit Ctrl H, then you see these hidden files, right? Ctrl H, toggled back, so you can easily switch between hidden files there. I have the list view open by default, and also what I do, I have single click. I really like single click, not double click. Don't like double click. So yeah, it's very fast, of course. And I also have that in KDE. So KDE is a default single click, as far as I know. That's good. And yeah, so the list view, I have it there. And sometimes I like to have the owner and the group in there as well. Well, it's not default. Sometimes I just do it, but as you can see, it's a little bit more cluttered. And I think this is a very nice, clean color as well. So nice, clean overview, and I think it matches with this wallpaper. So let me know in the comments what you think, guys, about that. And yeah, that's basically it. I think single click is here. Show folders before files, it makes sense. So you have the folders first and then the files. And that's all the customization I do there. With all that being said, we're ready to discuss customizing Rofi. So we'll take all these things into our back of our mind and see if we can tweak Rofi to simulate at least some of the functionality that Gnome provides. If that video is done and it's available, then you will see the link popping up at this moment. So go ahead and click that one. If it's not ready yet, so hold on, I will working on it and I will post it as soon as possible. Bye bye.